Listen to the short story When My Father Forgot. Level B1.
When my father stopped recognizing doors, we thought it was the beginning of the end. He would stand in front of the bathroom and hesitate, his hand hovering in the air, as if the handle might not belong to him. "Is this one mine?" he'd ask. "Yes," I'd say. "It's always been yours." He would nod, but not quite believe me. The doctor called it transitional confusion, said it would get worse, said we should prepare. We didn't know what that meant. Not really. At first, it was small things. He forgot where the spoons were, even though they'd been in the same drawer for 20 years. He called me by my mother's name once, then laughed like it was a joke. "It happens," he said. I laughed too, because that's what you do when something hasn't fully broken yet. You pretend it's still bending. The first time something felt wrong, not sad, not expected, but wrong, was on a Tuesday. I came home from work and found the front door open. My father was standing outside on the pavement in his slippers. He wasn't confused. He wasn't lost. He was waiting. "For what?" I asked. He looked at me like I had interrupted something important. "They're late," he said. "Who?" He frowned slightly, like the answer should have been obvious. "The ones who check." "Check what?" He didn't answer, just looked down the street, scanning faces that weren't there. I led him back inside. He didn't resist. But that night I checked the locks twice. After that, the questions changed. Less what, more when. "What time do they usually come?" "Who?" He looked at me, irritated. "You know, don't you?" "No." A pause, then softer. "You used to." We went back to the doctor. They ran tests, scans, memory exercises. "Any hallucinations?" the doctor asked. "No," I said. My father said nothing. "Paranoia?" "No," I repeated. The doctor nodded, made a note, and smiled in that careful, professional way. "Progression is normal," he said. "The brain tries to fill gaps, creates patterns where there are none." I wanted to believe him. I really did. But then the notebook appeared. It was in my father's room, hidden under his mattress. Old, spiral-bound, the cover bent at the corners. Inside were pages and pages of writing. Not random, not confused. Neat, structured, careful. Each page began the same way. "If you are reading this, you are still you." The first entries were simple reminders, names, dates, addresses, then came instructions. "Do not trust the television after 9 p.m. And if someone asks about the checks, say you don't remember. They only come if you notice them." I felt my stomach turn. At the back of the notebook, the writing changed. More urgent, more crowded. I think they are testing how long I can stay consistent. If I forget, they adjust. If I remember, they wait. Do not let them know you see them. I closed the notebook. My hands were shaking. That night, I asked him directly, "Dad, who are they?" He didn't look at me, just kept stirring his tea, slowly, carefully. "They're patient," he said. "That's the worst part." "What do they want?" He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "To see what stays when everything else goes." "That's not real," I said. He looked at me then, really looked, clear, present, almost sorry. "I hope for you it isn't," he said. After that, I started noticing things, small things, things I could explain. if I tried hard enough. The television flickering at exactly 9:03 p.m., not static, not a channel change, just a brief, sharp distortion, like a skipped frame. The hallway light turning on, even when neither of us had touched the switch. Footsteps above us, even though we lived on the top floor. I told myself it was old wiring, old building, old mind. Then came Thursday. I woke up at 2:17 a.m. for no reason I could name. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. No fridge hum, no distant traffic, nothing. I got up and walked to the living room. My father was already there, sitting in his chair, watching the television. The screen was on, but there was no program, just a still image. A room, our room, from the wrong angle, as if someone had placed a camera in the corner of the ceiling. My father didn't move. "Dad!" I whispered. He raised a finger to his lips. "Don't," he said. On the screen, something shifted. A shadow where there shouldn't be one, not moving across the room, growing into it. I couldn't breathe. "They're early," my father murmured. The shadow stopped, then, slowly, it turned toward the camera, toward us. The screen went black. The room snapped back to normal. Sound returned. The fridge hummed. A car passed outside. I grabbed the remote and turned the TV off. My hands were shaking so badly I dropped it. "We need to go," I said. "Where?" he asked gently. I didn't have an answer. The next morning, the notebook was gone. I tore his room apart looking for it. Nothing. "Did you move it?" I asked. He shook his head, but he didn't look surprised. "They clean up after themselves," he said. That evening, I tried something. At 8:55 p.m., I turned the television on and sat in front of it. Waited. 9 o'clock, 9:01, 9:02. At 9:03, the screen flickered. This time I didn't look away. The image didn't change immediately. Still a normal broadcast. A man reading the news. Calm, neutral. Then he stopped, mid-sentence, and looked directly at me. Not at the camera. At me. Through it. "Subject 2 is observing," he said. My blood froze. Behind him, the studio lights dimmed. The background dissolved into something dark and endless. The man smiled. "Consistency is higher than predicted." I reached for the remote, but my hand wouldn't move. "Please don't interfere," he added softly. "We are almost finished with him." With him? My father. The screen went black again. I ran to the living room. My father was standing by the window looking out. "They told you, didn't they?" he said. I grabbed his arm. "What are they doing to you?" He was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Measuring what's left," he said. "After memory, after identity, after everything that makes a person themselves." "That's insane." "Maybe," he said. "Or maybe it's the only honest test." The next days blurred together. I stopped going to work, stayed with him, tried to hold him in place with memories. But things slipped. Names, dates, me. On Sunday night, he forgot me completely. Can I help you? He asked. I'm your daughter, I said. He studied my face. I don't think so. At 9:03, the television flickered again. A voice spoke, not the man this time. Subject 1 has reached threshold. Transfer ready. My father looked at me, and for 1 second, he recognized me. Don't let them test you next, he whispered. Then his eyes went empty again. In the morning, he was gone. No broken locks, no noise, just an empty chair. And on the table, a new notebook. I opened it. If you are reading this, you are still you. Below it, in handwriting that looked like mine. They've started checking you now. At 9:03 that night, the television turned on by itself. I didn't move, but I could feel it, watching me, waiting, measuring, and slowly, quietly, I realized something worse than losing my father. I was already trying to remember things I had never written down, already wondering which thoughts were mine, already checking the doors, just to be sure they still belonged to me. I haven't missed a single night since. I sit in front of the television at 9:03. I watch. I don't react. I don't speak. I don't let them see what I understand. Because the notebook says that helps. Because the notebook says it slows them down. Because the notebook says they only finish when you stop noticing. And I am trying so hard, so painfully hard, to keep noticing.
Send this story to a friend who enjoys learning English through stories. And now check out another epic audiobook